Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclo. It's time for more Let's Not Play Train Simulator Classic today. I had in mind a thing to play today in addition to what I intend to talk about as this video. But unfortunately, I'll get to why I'm not going to do that in a moment because something did not work out the way it was supposed to, and therefore the item I want to play today is actually not on here like it should be. So we'll talk about that later. But what I want to do today is show you the content, because I actually have most of it already installed. I want to show you the content that's going to be coming with the TSC root refresh. Now, I don't remember if they actually announced the date or not. I'm not going to try to guess, but I always suspected it was coming April or May, so I think it's coming end of April, but I don't remember if it was announced or not. I may have just read that somewhere and may or may not be right. So I'm not going to try to tell you the exact date this root refresh is going to come. However, it is going to be a brand new package, and you will need to buy it again if you have the game itself in order to get the new routes. If you don't already have the game, the current route package will go off sale when this one launches or before this one launches, and then you'll have to go back to find older keys to activate that one because it will be a different package. So this will be a brand new package of routes for Train Simulator Classic. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the content that will be involved in this package of routes for Train Simulator Classic. The first thing I want to note will be included here is a route called Long Island Railroad. This is the oldest of the three routes that are going to be part of the basic route package, knowing this will be a regular edition and a deluxe edition. In the regular edition, this is the oldest of the three routes that is included. Long Island Railroad came out in July of 2022. It seems so long ago now, doesn't it? As you can see, I've already played all of the scenarios, plus the M3 scenarios. You'll notice the rail fans are here. I've played the rail fans as well. There's one on the standard tab that I've also played. So I've already played everything on this route, but I do intend to revisit this route in the new version of Train Sim Classic with its core updates. I want to see if the route actually runs better. I may grab a workshop scenario in order to take a shot at that, and that will be something we'll probably see on the standard tab. But if I can find some kind of workshop scenario or even make my own to accommodate a timetable that I decide I want to play around with, then I will see if the route performs a lot better in the new version of the game, especially around Jamaica, where you are getting in the case of my computer, a consistent 15 frames per second, sometimes 13 or 14, but usually not higher than 15 as you go through the Jamaica area. I've even seen 12 looking around through the station. If I'm moving around the station, I've seen 12 frames per second. So it gets excruciatingly slow. And if you try to load a quick drive, at least I did this once, I got 7, 8, 9 frames per second. And it's basically unplayable in that kind of environment. So I'm going to be most likely bringing up a quick drive to see how the quick drive behaves on a very quick run between maybe Jamaica and Penn, I'm thinking. So I might do it from a quick drive, or I may do a workshop scenario. I haven't decided yet. But I'm very curious to see how well the route will react in the new version of the game. So with that said, we'll move on to the next route that we want to look at. The second route that will be coming with the bundle of three routes in Train Simulator Classic in the new build will be the Huddersfield line, going from Manchester to Leeds. Now, you're going to notice, again, I've played all 7 scenarios. There are no loco DLC. Speaking of which, I don't know if the M4 comes with it or not, but... M3, I mean, the M3. I don't know if the M3 comes with the package or not, so I'm not going to speculate on that. But I can tell you that the Huddersfield line, which has a number of trains, the 142, the 158, and the 47-8 already in it, will be coming with the bundle. This scenario you can ignore. This is just an extra scenario. I think it came from the workshop. I'm not 100% sure. Might be from something else. I actually don't know where this one came from. I'll have to look that up and figure out where it came from. But other than that, the other scenarios listed here all come with the route, including the rail fans. I do not have a plan to immediately visit this route in the new version of the core. However, I may come back and play the railfans just because I haven't done the railfans yet. I've been meaning to come back and do the railfan scenarios. So this might be the time that I come back and play the railfan scenarios as part of seeing how well everything runs in the new core. I may do that. We'll see. Haven't decided yet. Let's move on to the... Oh, one more thing I should point out. I'm going to be picking up a trio of workshop scenarios that go from Liverpool all the way, I believe, to Newcastle. It turns out there will be one leg of the journey that is missing between Leeds and York. And I believe it's going to be York where it comes in. It might go a little bit further north. But My understanding is that you're going to have a full run of Liverpool to Manchester, a full run of Manchester to Leeds, possibly dipping. We're going to have to somehow either get to Victoria for a start, or we're going to have to go from Manchester Piccadilly to Stalybridge and pick up Stalybridge. I'm not sure offhand which one it does. So we're going to have to skip a small portion there, possibly, on one of those two routes. But other than that, we're going to go all the way to Leeds. And then we're going to pick up after the train finds its way to the East Coast Main Line North. And we're going to, East Coast Main Line. Forget the North, that's a different route. But East Coast Main Line, and we're going to pick up the train all the way to Newcastle, where the service will end for us. So I am going to be coming back for a week and playing that trio of scenarios. And we're going to see how all three routes run in sequential orders. That should be a lot of fun. Let's move to the next route. And here's the third route we're going to be looking at. It's the third and final route in the main route bundle, the Pegnitz-Taliban. And this one, you can see I've only played and completed 3 of the scenarios so far. This will be one of my plans, to come back and play at least the next couple scenarios here. Again, we may look at the railfans that are below here. I haven't decided yet, but we do have that. And that means I have a total of 7 scenarios that I can look at here on this route. So this route will definitely be getting a revisit on the core, because I have to play some scenarios on it. But there is one more thing that's also interesting for me to bring up here, which is the Centenary Pack, and I'll get to that in a second because I have another route to bring up before I start talking about that. So I am going to be planning to go back to the 648, give the 648 a drive on the Newhouse to Nuremberg HBF route. We're going to come back and also play the Nuremberg to Beirut, the normal 612 service. And I haven't decided if I'm going to dip into the iced tea during a full week here. And if I do, I'm probably going to finish this at the same time. But I am tempted to come and grab the iced tea from Beirut all the way to Nuremberg HBF as a special service here. So I will figure out later what I want to do. These are all hour long, like hour and 10 minutes, with the exception of this 55-minute. They're all really long scenarios. So I may just decide to do 2, and I may come back and do the iced tea later. The rail fans, again, they are small. I may just do them as an extra thing just for the sake of doing them. I don't know. I'll figure out what I want to do. But that's the end of the 3 routes that come with the core game. Those are the 3 routes that are included. As you can see, I've played them all. You can check my videos of these routes and the stock all across my channel, because I played all 3 in the last year. So definitely take a look at them and see what you think. In the meantime, there's one more thing that I've also played that is also included with the deluxe version of the route. Let's get to that. This look familiar, guys? This is the East Coast Main Line, London to Peterborough route. With the deluxe edition of the route package, you will get this route. Now, you're not going to get the In a Hurry AP365 that you see down here. What that is, that's a clone of the scenario I did make, and I did manage to slip it in over here, so I got the full 1,000 points out of that by using a modified version of the scenario. So basically, it's this scenario in this spot. If you don't know how to do that, well, don't worry about it, because you're not missing much. The points don't really mean anything, but I felt like doing it just to see if it would work, and it worked. So I'm not going to be upset about the fact that it worked. Science, ladies and gentlemen. But you're going to get the other 7 scenarios, the 7 main scenarios, all the way down to a staff train. You're going to get the 2 tutorial scenarios. And on top of that, you're going to get to come down here and pick up not the 180, but the 801 scenarios. They're all included as well. Because the 801, you might remember, comes with the East Coast Main Line. I assume they're included anyway. I haven't checked the route package in full detail to see if it was the default version of the route, or whether it was the version that includes the 801. I do not know yet. I'm going to look into that. I may put a note on somewhere. I don't know where yet. But I may put a note on maybe down next to where, underneath this message here, to see what the, next to the 1,000 score you see there, to see what the, to let you know if I find anything different. But I assume the version coming with it is going to include these 801 scenarios. The 180... the Class 91, those Class 91s, and the A2 will not come with the package. Neither will the 321. The A2 is the Blue Peter. It is a separate DLC. Now, you might be noticing that the Centenary Loco Pack is missing on my copy of the route, because the scenarios for the Centenary Flying Scotsman Pack do come on the East Coast Main Line London to Peterborough route, and therefore would be on this list, since they are career scenarios. Yeah, there was a problem with the activation of the route for me for some reason. and I only got half of the pack. There are two elements to the Centenary local pack. One of them, there are two different apps in the Steam app list. One ends with the number 24, the ID, and the second ID ends with the number 25. In the store, you have 25. The one that got activated for me was 24. Therefore, the scenarios do not appear. But yet, I'm shown to have something Centenary in app 24. I'm a little confused because the depot information actually encrypts the files in these extensions, which is unfortunate because I can't really do any real research into what I actually have now without poking around and finding something new with the date that I installed it. So other than that, I don't know offhand what I actually have. I assume I do have the loco. I could probably show you the loco, but I'm not going to fool around with it and try to find it because there could be something else wrong that is missing in the 25 package, and therefore it might not work anyway. So I'm not going to mess around with it. But know that the Centenary local pack is the only other missing item that will come included in the route. Now, in the package rather. So what is the Centenary local pack? Let's look at something else and I'll explain this to you. So here's what the Centenary is based on. You see this single scenario that I brought up here, Scotsman in the Snow? That uses the A3 Flying Scotsman in the LNER Modern livery. You can actually go into the menu and pick the black version, and that will give you a different scenario. There it is, the Black Ice career scenario. There's a standard version as well. There may be more scenarios over in the standard tab that I have not picked up, but those are the two Flying Scotsmen that I could find in the menu right now. And those two Flying Scotsmen are similar to the one that we're going to be getting in the Centenary pack. The Centenary pack, however, features a lot more in terms of scenario play, 10 scenarios. And it also means that we're going to get a chance to really play with the Flying Scotsman a little bit. So what am I going to do in the meantime? Well, I'm not playing anything today. But what I do want to do, and I thought I was going to do this for tomorrow, but I've been a little bit busy the start of this week, so I'm not getting as much playtime as I want to. But what I'm going to try and do maybe is a bonus video on the weekend, because I'm already doing a number of videos on the of older videos, getting some older videos published before the new core update goes in. It will give us a new screenshot image in the back. So I'm going to get the existing content all out before the screenshot changes. And then I'll be able to record ahead on some new content at that point. But for right now, I'm keeping with this background. And in doing that, I'm going to record maybe one of these scenarios. I'm either going to do this one, which is the Scotsman in the Snow, driving the LNER Modern on the Great Western Main Line, which I actually tried doing once. I'll tell you the story if I do this scenario. Or I'm going to go to the Flying Scotsman Wartime Black, and we'll be driving Black Ice on London to Brighton. I'm actually inclined to do the London to Brighton scenario because I'm very familiar with the London to Brighton line, having played the entire set of scenarios and another one or two DLC on it. So I am fairly familiar with the line and how that one runs in the game by now. I've seen some videos on it, including the non-stop London Bridge to Brighton speed run that they attempted and actually broke the record for. Congrats to them for that. Years ago now. So I'm inclined to play this version, or this particular scenario, because it is a full route scenario. The only thing is, of course, it's going to be in the weather. So this might be a bonus scenario I might do for you on Sunday if I can find enough time to play it and get it shown off. After that, I'm going to concentrate as soon as the new core drops, which I imagine will be on a Thursday. I'll be sitting here trying to play a bunch of scenarios in the new core. Whatever Thursday it is, whether it's this week, next week, or the following week, I don't know offhand. But we'll get the new core, and I'm going to be sitting here dutifully playing some scenarios and trying to get them out for you. If for some reason I'm away when the new core drops, there may not be videos for a while, but I will get them out as soon as I can if that is the case. So don't worry, I am not going away. I am going to be trying to get some Flying Scotsman Centenary scenarios played when the new core drops. And I have the Centenary pack in my list of DLC. So keep an eye out for that. That is the immediate plan. I do want to also show off that trio workshop scenarios I mentioned. And I still have a number of other route projects I want to show off as well, because I need to get some of those featured as well, including some custom routes I want to show off. So there is no shortage of content for me to play. It's just a matter of getting it all in here. But obviously I want to show you some of the stuff that comes with the new core of the game to help promote that new core of the game. And we'll see from there what I end up pick it up here because it depends on whether there are any new projects. I'm going to tend to default to new projects if I find that they are of interest. I still haven't picked up the Tokyo Commuter, and I still have to show you the Rio Grande route. Those are two items that I haven't had a chance to fully look at yet. The Tokyo one I don't even own yet. The Rio Grande I do own. I just have to find a chance to play it for you. So I am going to look at that after the update as well. And if I find that there are improvements to the quality of the play in terms of faster frame rate, less lag on things, anything like that. If I find there are improvements of that nature, I may come back and do one or two feature heavy or like very heavy routes. Taurus Mountains might show up. The New Zealand route might show up in that case. So that's a couple of options of routes I might be able to bring up. We'll see what happens when this update drops. There's all sorts of things I can bring up if I can get increased improvement out of this game. And if I get that increased improvement, you're going to see some stuff that I had never thought I'd be able to show you. Heck, the Portsmouth direct line to Waterloo might fall into that category as well, I've been told. And here that's a nasty one as well. But my play of Long Island Railroad is going to give me a good indication whether it's a good idea to move to all of these routes. We will find out when the time comes. For now, what I'm going to do for the weekend, stay tuned for the weekend where you're going to get to see some Western Lines of Scotland scenarios that I taped before installing the track upgrade for the route. I wanted to get some scenarios played with the original track, so I'm going to show you those scenarios. I am still going to revisit the Port Road scenarios as well in the future because there is some interesting content there. It doesn't all use the Black 5, so there is some interesting content there as well I want to try and get out for you. But for right now, I'm looking at the Western Lines of Scotland because it is a route where I can do some other interesting things if I can find some good scenarios for it. So I do want to show you that route a little bit more as well. In the meantime, that's just a little preview of what's to come. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you at your part of the world. And I will show you those Western Lines of Scotland scenarios on the weekend. Like and subscribe so I can you can be aware when I do bring those up. But after some Western Lines of Scotland scenarios, I'm going to see if I can sneak in the middle of those that Black 5 scenario that is on your screen right now. And if I can get that played and get that in time, I will get it in for you so you can see a little preview of the Black 5 as we come towards the Centenary Pack and the rest of the Train Sim Classic new deluxe refresh, which is going to be coming possibly the end of this month. I don't know offhand again, but possibly the end of this month, maybe next month. I don't know. We'll see when it comes. It's been announced. It's got to be soon. I'm guessing end of the month. So I'll see you for that when it comes. Other than that, we're going to have some pre-record content until we get to this scenario and then the route refresh. So I will see you for that. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night. I'm Cyclone. See you next time. Bye-bye.